Okay, Amanda and I are switching roles a little bit today, and I am going to be doing the devotional this morning. I've been reading Acts the past week or so, and I always come back to Acts. I really enjoy it. I feel like it's just such an action-packed book, and I cannot believe the calling that God placed on Paul's life during this. And I don't know, definitely something to mimic. But we're not going to talk about Paul. We're going to talk about John Mark. So I'm going to read this. Now my husband's calling. Okay. So this is called Give the Kid Another Chance. Talking about John Mark. He began with all the right connections. His mother was prominent in the Jerusalem church, their spacious home, a meeting place for part of the huge congregation. The apostle Peter had come to their door first after his miraculous escape from prison, Acts 12. His cousin was the gentle, respected Barnabas, donor of real estate funds to the church, a good man, full of the Holy Spirit and strong in faith. Thus, it was not a total surprise that when Barnabas and Paul were set apart by the Antioch believers for a historic new venture into the Mediterranean world, John Mark went with them as their assistant, it says in Acts 13:5. But somewhere during the next few weeks, all that changed. The scriptures do not tell us why or how. Perhaps the crossing of the open waters to Cyprus was frightening. Perhaps the young man was irritated at the secondary role that was falling to his relative as Paul's ministry flourished. Whatever the cause, John Mark made the mistake of his life. He left them and returned to Jerusalem. What he said before his departure, we do not know, but we do know that he had seared his worthlessness into the memory of Paul. 2 years later, when Paul and Barnabas began planning their second extended trip abroad, they argued over whether to include John Mark again. Barnabas wanted to take him along, but Paul flatly refused, citing the young man's earlier desertion of reason to leave him behind. The two missionaries disagreed so strongly that they eventually split up. Barnabas took John Mark to Cyprus, and Paul replaced Barnabas with Silas. After such sharp rejection by the apostle Paul, was John Mark's career doomed forever? Would the church ever give him another chance? Would God? To find the answer, we must jump forward in time 15 years. Paul was now writing from Roman prison. His traveling days were finished. He relied on his pen and his colleagues to carry out his ministry, and he wrote, Astarchius, who is in prison with me, sends you his greetings, and so does Mark, Barnabas' cousin. As we were instructed before, make Mark welcome if he comes to your way. Colossians 4:10. Paul also sent a message to Philemon, Epaphras, can't pronounce the names. My fellow prisoner in Christ Jesus sends you his greetings. So does Mark, Demas, and Luke, my co-workers. And in Paul's final note to Timothy, perhaps just weeks before his execution, he made this request. Only Luke is with me. Bring Mark with you when you come, for he will be helpful to me in my ministry. John Mark went from reject to value ministry partner. What transformation. But the greatest evidence of John Mark's restoration was still to come. If it was he, the formerly undependable one, who recorded one of the four Gospels, an exciting action-packed account of the life of the Lord. His place in history is thus assured forever. The point, early foul-ups do not have to be a life sentence. One of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this was because I think a lot of times we always want to define ourselves by our past mistakes, and we want to think about our recent failures or where we had fallen short. And I think a lot of people in this business don't want to start because they're afraid of, like, maybe they've been a part of other network marketing companies or just maybe the reputation before or things like that. And they don't believe that they can have a full restoration and start a new future. And I feel like the Bible very plainly shows that God is a God of restoration, and it's never too late to start over, and it's never too late to have that second chance. One of the things that I posted in Rank Makers earlier last week said, you are not an accumulation of your past mistakes. You are your present purpose and your future actions. So instead of us ever dwelling on what we did or what we didn't do in the past or what we can't do because of our past, I think it's like really important for all of us to think about what we're doing now, what our purpose is, and what actions we can take moving forward to fulfill that and to drive that. So relating this back to Plexus, just whatever your goals are, making sure that you're showing up on a regular basis. And I'm really trying to push a lot of you guys into leadership. If you guys want to have a thriving legacy business, you guys are going to have to get up out of your comfort zone and you are going to have to start showing up as leaders. Amanda and Bailey and I love doing all of the things for you. But as we have talked about before, it's your teams are going to look to you and they're not going to look at us for direction and what they want to do. So again, if you want your teams to show up to calls, if you want your teams to post regularly, if you want your teams to be interactive in groups, then you guys are going to have to make sure that you are doing those things because your teams are going to follow suit with that. And it doesn't matter how you showed up before. And I've talked about this before. It does not like whenever I chose to get to Emerald and Sapphire, I knew that I had to start showing up differently to reach those ranks than I showed up to get to Senior Ruby. And it didn't matter that I didn't show up like that before. I was able to start taking those actions and start showing up like that. And then it got me the results that I was wanting for. So just another reminder that it doesn't matter how we showed up before. It doesn't matter what actions that we had. Right now, we can choose to start showing up differently and be who that we are, who we're created to be, what our purpose is, whatever desires we have in our heart, we can slowly start taking those actions to become that. Amanda or Bailey, whoever's next.
Am I next? I don't know if we talked about it. Am I going next?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was just wanted to share with you guys about our health and happiness group. So that is a resource that we have for you guys that I feel like if you're not using it in all the ways that it can be used, and I feel like it's really, you're missing out, and it's actually, it can hurt your business. So let me see if I can sit her on the floor for a second. I probably can't, but we'll check. Okay, so we know a lot of times when we first talk to somebody, it's very rare that somebody's going to just order right away, right after we've talked to them. It takes all of us for anything before we buy something. Often we see it several times before we're really ready to buy it. And a lot of that, we just don't really know a whole lot about it yet. So that is why anytime you're talking to anybody, you need to be sure that you're adding them. Once you've gone through all your messages, make sure you're adding them to our health and happiness group, because that's just a place that they can go, that they can learn more information, and just think of it kind of like an advertisement that they're going to see. Anytime somebody posts in that group, it's going to pop up on their timeline. So they can learn more about Plexus and then eventually come back to you, or when you're checking in on them, it'll have been on their mind more. And so they're more willing to learn. Another really good thing about health and happiness is it's a really good place to learn information yourself and learn more about Plexus. Anytime you have any questions about certain issues to see if Plexus could help it with, or certain products, you can actually search in health and happiness. So let's say like thyroid, you could go in health and happiness and search thyroid, and then it'll pull up testimonies and products and information about Plexus and how it can help that. So it can help you answer your people better. And then something that I've actually found this past month is, so at the beginning of the month, it seemed like it was kind of slow, the people I was talking to, my engagement on things. And I actually started, Mom told me to start posting in health and happiness more. So I've been really consistent with posting in there. Things that we can share in there are, we can share testimonies, we can share information about the products, we can share workouts, we can share recipe ideas. So I started posting more in there, and I've noticed that my posts in other places are getting a lot more engagement. So it helps in that way too. So know that you all are also allowed to post and share in there as well.
One thing that, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. One
You
thing
look
that
like
I
you're
want to mention too about that group is it is a community group. And if there are people that are in there that are commenting on your posts, they are in that group because somebody had invited them to that group. So make sure like we're not just messaging everybody that comments on our posts and us giving them the information, that we are trying to that's a great resource of rank makers. Like you see people all the time, like who added this person. So make sure you're putting it in there. If Amanda also showed us that we could go click on the members and we can see who added them. And we've also added questions. So nobody can get in the group now. Like we ask the questions if they were invited. We do know every once in a while, sometimes the group is just found, but most of the time people are being added to that group because of they're being invited. So we ask if they were invited, and then we also ask who invited them. So we can go back later too. And if for some reason somebody didn't specifically add them, then we can see who invited them there. So especially if you see somebody that if somebody's commenting and they were just added in the last couple months, then you know that whoever added them is working their business. And we want to make sure that everybody gets to who they belong, because we can't trust to put our people in that group if we're going to like be afraid that somebody else is going to take them. So again, always doing things with integrity and character, and just making sure everybody goes back to who they're supposed to go to.
Also try to just keep an eye on the comments in the post. I know all of us are busy and it is hard to go back and check every post. That's why we ask in Rank Makers. But once again, somebody might be busy and miss that in Rank Makers. So just keep an eye on people's comments on the post and check if anybody is yours that's commenting so that you can get them. I feel like I have so many different things to say today. My mind's been going crazy all morning trying to work to get to Emerald. So I haven't really got to sit down and gather my thoughts. But kind of going off of Kara's devotional this morning, I feel like what she said like describes my business exactly. I've shared my story many times of how I started Plexus, and I pretty much got my products paid for. I was in college, so I made a little extra money. That was great for me. That's all I wanted. And if I would have just continued that, that's not going to support my family now. But then last year, I decided to actually start working the business. And so I didn't just stick to what I was doing. I made a change. I started working it. And I felt like that whole past year, I worked it, but not as a leader, as myself, as building my team, adding people, getting those enrollments, following the system that we have taught. I followed the system to a T, and I got lots of new VIPs. But then I feel like this past 6 months, I've tried to step up more as an actual leader, mainly because Kara pretty much makes me. She pushes me out of my comfort zone, makes me show up for the Zooms and do the things, but just getting together with my sisters constantly and brainstorming ideas. Kara and I were talking the other day about how we don't know if people really realize whenever we say we're pushing what that even means, about like we are just constantly trying to find new ideas of what we can do. We are following the system. We stick to the system every single day. We post on our site, on our page, on our stories. We do all of that, but we're trying to do new ideas like the messenger party, like Silver and Seven, like the business chat, like team Zooms. So don't ever be afraid to start trying to brainstorm ideas like that and take ownership of them. You can have your own messenger chat parties. And we're always open to talk to you guys about those. But I just feel like my business has changed so much, as in just taking my products, getting my products paid for and working a little extra, and then to replacing my income. And then now almost to Emerald, because I have stepped up, because I have stayed very consistent. I followed the system, and then I tried to step out and to be a leader. So don't feel like anywhere that you're at that you're not far enough, or that you don't know enough, because I am still learning every day about our products and the business. So don't feel like you're not far enough ahead. You can do, if you have one person under you, you are a leader and you can step up. Okay.
And just to piggyback real quick, just in case you don't realize what Emerald is, like, I feel like once you hit Emerald, you have like reached like the pinnacle of this company. Like that's what we're all striving for. Once you get to Emerald, you're bringing in a 6-figure income. You can choose the Lexus or the lifestyle bonus. You get a yearly trip to Hawaii. You get special treatment at all the events. Like that's a really big deal. And her choosing to show up differently is now getting her to Emerald.
Not even when I joined last year, the thought of Emerald still seemed absolutely impossible. I'm probably gonna start crying now. I've been like an emotional mess this whole month. Like there are a lot of hard things that come with this business sometimes that we get frustrated at, but I'm always just so incredibly thankful for what this has done for me, for my family, for all of you guys that come to us constantly telling us what this has helped you with. And the fact that even Emerald is in reach right now, it just still doesn't seem real, probably not going to seem real. And I'm working extremely hard to get there. So I'll move on from that. We also have been trying each week to talk to you a little bit about new products, just to help you guys be a little bit more knowledgeable of the products that we have. So this week I want to talk to you about collagen. Collagen in your body, it's the second highest substance to water. So it's a pretty big deal. And by age 21, our body starts to produce at a minimum of 1% less each year. So once you hit 21, your body starts producing less. So it's definitely something we need to supplement. This, we hear about collagen everywhere. Our collagen is really great. You can mix it in your coffee. You can mix it in your Slim. I mix mine in my lean shake almost every day. But ours is combined with vitamin C, which means you'll actually absorb it. And most collagens don't have that. It adds collagen to your body, and it also stimulates your own production of it. And it's clinically proven results were in less than 14 days. So this isn't just for your skin. It is going to help. It is going to help with like wrinkles and crow's feet and fine lines. It's going to help improve the appearance of cellulite. And then it's also going to help improve the texture and the roughness of your skin and reduce roughness of your skin. And then it supports your skin's natural antioxidants and supports and replenishes natural antioxidants. But this is also going to help with longer eyelashes, shinier hair, joint health. It seals up leaky gut and promotes weight loss, muscle building, and heart health and hormone balance. So this isn't like just skin and one thing. There are so many different things that collagen can do for us. Sorry, my computer's about to die. Okay. And then going on from collagen, I also want to remind you about what this month has to offer. So yes, all of us are pushing so hard because we have goals that we want to meet and rank ups that we want to meet, but we have 5 days left, including today, to show up for yourself and show up for your business every single day. Follow the system, do your page, stick with it every single day. Even if you feel like you haven't been working hard enough this month, today is a great day to start pushing. You would be amazed by how much can happen at the end of the month. How many people I added 5 people yesterday. I've already added 3 today. So just by showing up consistently at the end of the month, you can meet your goals, even if you feel like they're far away. This month, Plexus is offering a re-rank bonus. So if you didn't maintain your rank last month, then if you meet that rank again, so if you ended as senior silver last month, if you hit gold again this month, even though you've already hit it before and already gotten that bonus before, Plexus is going to give you that bonus again this month. So I feel like that's very generous and just kind of helps you strive to meet that. And then if you haven't ranked up, then they are doubling the bonus this month. So if you've never hit gold or senior gold, actually any of them, they're doubling them. And then if you are fast starting, you get 3 times the bonus. So I feel like that is a huge deal for this month. This is the first time I've ever known of them doing that. That's okay. So it's a huge deal to get the bonus again, either get double the bonus. I'm going to try to get my husband to Ruby. So what's Ruby? A $500 bonus. So I'll get a $1,000 bonus for getting him to Ruby this month. And normally I would only get 500. And if you're fast starting, that triples. And that is incredible. We've said a million times, this is a very generous company. I feel like they already pay us very well, but every month they're always throwing something in there extra that blows my mind and that I'm so thankful for. And then we also have Kara's retreat that you still have 5 days to work for. 5 days to work for. And she has shared with me things that she's going to do and gift ideas she had. And I just know it's going to be so incredible, so uplifting, and an amazing time together. So I really encourage you to work to try to meet that. And I cannot wait for it. It's next month.
I'm super excited about that. Just to throw out a couple numbers to you guys, if you're senior silver, then, or if you're ranking for senior silver, your bonus will be $300 or $450 if it's within your first 60 days. Gold to fast start, you have 3 months to fast start. So it's $500 if it's your first time hitting gold. If you fast start, it's $750 bonus. Like, that's huge. And then senior gold is 700, or if you fast start, so if it's within your first 4 months, it's $1,050 that you're getting for senior gold. And then ruby is $1,000, and then fast starting is 1,500, and senior ruby is $1,500 for first time earners, or $2,250 if you are fast starting. Like, those are crazy bonuses.
And these are just bonuses. This is not your business building bonus for welcome packs that we get paid weekly. This is not points, anything like that. These are strictly just bonuses on top of everything.
So 5 days. And I know a lot of you guys are like within grasp of getting
Yes.
that. So if you guys like put your heads down for the next couple days, there's no reason that y'all can't work to whatever you are shooting for this month.
And like I said, even if it doesn't feel like it's doable, then just start pushing, start showing up, do all the things that we tell you to always do, and it is doable.
Yes.
The end of the month, amazing things always happen.
We have like grown like crazy at the end of the month before.
Mhm.
So